A couple have been jailed after keeping a family member in appalling slavery for more than 4 years, even forcing her to give up a newborn child. The victim was subjected to violence and intimidation by relatives who stole thousands of pounds from her in wages. The main offender, a 51-year-old aunt, Julia Rafaelova, had persuaded the victim to travel to the UK from Slovakia in October 2013, having fallen pregnant during forced prostitution controlled by Julia. The victim was promised a better life and to be reunited with the rest of her family. When the pregnant victim arrived, she discovered the other family members were not in the UK. She stayed in an overcrowded property in Saxon Road, Peterborough, and slept on a mattress on the kitchen floor. She was forced to clean the house, cook meals for the family, and even shoplift. If she failed to do so, she was beaten by Julia or her aunt's parents, Milan Nemeth, 49. On November 22, 2013, social services attended the victim's address where her cousin, Scarletta Rafaelova, 32, translated false information, and along with accounts from Julia, the victim was forced to give the child up for adoption. 5 days later, on November 28th, the victim's child was born. Knowing she was unable to keep the baby and unable to speak English, the victim left the hospital the same day, returning to her exploitation. In November, at Peterborough Crown Court, Julia Rafaelova, Milan Nemeth and Scarletta Rafaelova were convicted of multiple charges, including slavery and child abduction, after being found guilty following trial. Yesterday, at the same court, Julia Rafaelova was jailed for 10 years and Milan Nemeth was jailed for 2 years. Scarletta Rafaelova was sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended for 2 years. PC Nick Webber said the victim in this case was exploited by the very people she should have been able to trust, her family. Their treatment of her was appalling, subjecting her to violence and intimidation as they stole from her for more than 4 years. Forcing a mother to give up her child to allow further financial gain is utterly despicable and a trauma the victim will never get over. Modern slavery is happening right here in Cambridgeshire. We need the public and professionals to be aware of the signs to look out for and report any concerns. The court heard the exploitation of the victim gathered pace after she had given up her baby. In February 2014, the victim attended a recruitment agency with Scarletta. She helped the victim to register with the agency, but ensured the wages were paid into a bank account of Julia. After a brief period of working for this and a second recruitment agency, Julia decided to use the victim to claim benefits. Julia and Scarletta completed the forms on behalf of the victim. They claimed the victim had a serious mental health illness and forced her to go along with the scam to secure the extra benefits, as well as carer's allowance for Julia. Julia and Scarletta were both present at the necessary medicals, with the aunt producing documentation from a Slovakian psychiatric institution. The victim was forced to remain silent during these consultations, with her family speaking for her and act in a manner which supported she had mental health issues. Between April 2016 and April 2019, they successfully claimed more than $41,500 in various benefits, all of which was paid into the bank accounts controlled by Julia. In September 2014, the victim was taken to another recruitment agency, with Scarletta again completing the forms and ensuring wages were paid into her mother's account or accounts she had control over. Due to benefits being claimed in the victim's name, she was forced to use other family members' identity to work. Not content with fraudulently claiming benefits in 2016, Julia successfully used the victim to apply for a mobility vehicle, a brand new BMW, something she kept until 2019. In 2017, Julia claimed working tax credits on behalf of the victim, with the money being paid into a bank account. The process continued, with the victim working various jobs under other family members' names and all wages going into the bank accounts controlled by Julia. In September 2018, the victim managed to escape from the family. It is impossible to accurately identify how much the family stole in wages, as the victim was working under several different names for more than 4 years. The victim finally managed to escape following a chance meeting with her now partner, whom she had met 3 years previously on a factory production line. She was banned from speaking to him by the family and forced to leave the site to prevent further contact. Following her escape, Milan searched for the victim and tried to get her to return to the family home. On November 7, 2018, Milan tried to force the victim into a car but was prevented by members of the public. In December 2018, the victim and her partner became homeless. When seeking support with accommodation, the victim started to disclose what had happened to her and police were contacted. Julianne Rafaelova of Huntley Grove, Peterborough, was found guilty of taking a child from a person, having lawful control, conspiracy to defraud, 2 counts of fraud, and knowingly holding another person in slavery. She was found not guilty on an additional account of wounding with intent. Milan Nemeth, also of Huntley Grove, Peterborough, was found guilty of holding a person in slavery. Scarletta Rafaelova of Peterborough was found guilty of taking a child from a person, having lawful control, conspiracy to defraud, and holding a person in slavery. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Like and subscribe.